Welcome back to another episode of Scope Bite. Today we're going to be talking about how to camouflage your equipment without a lot of high speed, high tech nylon, hyperlon, or any kind of that nonsense. This is low cost, very effective ways to camouflage your gear. Let's get into it. Getting into the rifle, this is a tape job that is used with gaffer's tape or hockey tape, medical tape even, something that has a really high adhesive. It sticks to your weapons and your equipment very well. I don't like wrapping. I think it looks a little unnatural. Doing it this way breaks up the outline of lots of straight lines. This is stuff that you may need to get out with your guys and do some training, do some force on force, and then do an after action. Hey, when we were sitting in our OP, I couldn't see you guys in the tree line, but I did see your rifle, or I did see your headgear, or I did see your gloves, stuff like that. So I like to do everything, including my D-ball. This is meant to be a temporary fix to a solution like this when you have a whiteout. I also like to do my headgear. Now, I'm not going to talk about my headgear because it really doesn't matter. What matters is how I put the tape. Now, I didn't want to cover up any of the ventilation. Being out here, you are going to be moving a lot, and ventilation is going to be key. You're going to want to keep yourself cool. You're not going to want to overheat. So for that, some guys like to wear ballistic helmets. For this kind of environment, I'll opt for a bump helmet just because I have that added ventilation. And depending on what we're doing, if this is going to be some kind of long reconnaissance or observation, which is what my channel is basically focused on, because I don't think that the average everyday guy has body armor and is capable enough to go into a structure and clear it out. It is very important to know CQB. I think the most valuable assets are going to come in time of conflict, when civilians are getting involved, is going to be reconnaissance and observation. You can see I taped the Ear Pro, and I just kind of throw some stripes on there to break out the outline of this. These 4D pads in here, when left in your helmet overnight, will freeze, especially these gel cups on your peltors. These will be very unpleasant once this starts freeze over a long period of time. One thing I would suggest is to completely remove your Ear Pro. I didn't do it on this helmet because I use this for range work and stuff like that. So normally, if I was going to be doing any kind of long patrol, I wouldn't have Ear Pro like this on my helmet. I would wear either a bone mic that you guys have seen me use, or just like I think it's called an SAS-style earplug with a mic on a lapel. But if you need to mount night vision and stuff like that to your head, then a helmet is the best option. And really quick, I want to talk about water bottles. That sound will give you away, especially in a calm like this. Sound will travel a very long way. That's why I like the snow. Maybe it's the Norwegian in me. I like to camouflage my Nalgene bottles, and when I do that, I'll just throw a strip of tape there, and I'll paint it that way. I still have my measurements. Now, to eliminate this sound, one trick you can do is fill it all the way up to the top. Now that that's filled all the way to the top, I'm just going to close the lid. Try not to spill any of the nectar of the gods. And now that is totally filled, that sound really goes away. One more thing about water bottles. You can become a heat cat in wintertime. You can be dehydrated in wintertime, so it is very, very important to make sure that you are keeping hydrated and drinking at all times. Also, if you're going to be sitting for a long time, keep this water bottle upside down. Water freezes from the top down. So if it's sitting for a long time and say the water's starting to freeze and it's upside down like this, as you turn it up, you can still have access to that water. That's why I like these Nalgenes with that wide mouth. I can get a knife in there to break up that ice. It's a very common technique, but it's amazing to me how many people still don't know that. So if you didn't know, now you know. All right, so getting down to the chest rig. I like to use the same method as I do on my rifle or my helmets, on my plate carriers or my chest rigs, depending on what I need at the time. I just take the big parts that aren't white and I just put tape on them. And I notice that helps break up the outline when things, I mean, you can see nothing is completely white out here. Maybe up north in the more Arctic regions, things are going to be more white. But as you're out here doing what you need to do and the snow starts to break down, that's when you'll see the over white pants will get stripped down and it'll be multicam. The tape will start coming off. The rifle will start being less white. The jacket, we'll get into that, will start to change. Maybe I might keep my over white bottoms and leave my multicam top. Maybe I might keep the multicam top and leave the bottoms. It all depends on what is going on out here. It is good to keep options in your pack. So your little 3-day recon in the wintertime, you might be able to get away with like an 80-liter bag. I don't suggest a 30-liter pack being a 3-day bag. That's garbage. I don't subscribe to the 10-liter a day thing. I use more equipment than that. Especially I'm 6'5", so a lot of my equipment is huge. So when it comes to wintertime reconnaissance, my pack usually jumps up into the 110, 120 liter size. Also, I wrap my antenna with white tape. I haven't noticed any kind of signaling issues. I get signal pretty well. Radio guys are gonna probably go nuts seeing this. And if you're a radio guy, I work with a couple of radio guys, and you guys talk a language I can't even comprehend. I go completely smooth brain. But if you're a radio guy, leave a comment. Let me know what this is affecting, or if anything at all. If this is breaking down signal to where I'm not getting the most amount of power signal out of this as possible, please let me know. I haven't noticed any issues, but I'm not using it over long range either. But yeah, it's always something I wanted to know, and I can't find answers. So yeah, this is what I do. It helps break up that black antenna. Some guys spray paint it. You have options. Do what you do. You don't have to do exactly what I do. And if you're a radio guy and you say this is a no-no, please let me know. And then maybe I'll just go to spray painting it, and I'll just get an extra one and spray paint it white for this kind of environment. Who knows? Since my equipment is going to be based off of reconnaissance and long patrolling, I moved the chest rig out and installed the sniper panel on this chest rig. This is going to help me get low and keep everything out of the way. I'm not going to have all kinds of stuff sitting in front of me if I have to go prone. Now, I would not suggest going prone in the snow. And the reason for that is because if you're moving with your team and you're moving in a ranger file, everybody's footsteps are going to be kind of hard to track. It's going to be one straight line. It's going to look like either one guy walked there or 50 guys walk there. Unless the guy's an expert tracker, he's not going to know how many dudes are with you. But when you all halt and go prone, now you just left bodies in the snow. And those bodies in the snow, if an enemy team patrols over that, they're going to be like, hey, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, however many guys are in this element. So you're going to want to avoid going prone as much as possible. I'm glad I can be here to help you guys get your kits set up and get the gear and the knowledge that you guys need to be effective when that fight comes to you, because you don't get to pick the fight or the environment. So thanks again for watching. Until next time, see you.